Ramalpur was a village choked by dust. The sun beat down mercilessly, the people were thirsty. Water was more precious than gold. Wells were dry. The river was just a crack in the earth. Children cried, mothers worried, fathers looked to the sky, hoping for rain. But the sky was empty. Even the date palms, tough as they were, struggled to survive. Ramalpur was a village on the brink of disappearing.
Manny, look at this. I'm making a sandcastle. It's going to be the biggest and the best one ever.
Arfa, I'm going to make mine bigger. Just you wait. I'll build a fortress that can withstand any storm.
Arfa and her little brother Mani were playing in the vast, endless desert. The golden sands stretched as far as the eye could see. They were building castles in the sand, their imaginations running wild with dreams of grand palaces and mighty fortresses. Arfa was quick and clever, always alert to her surroundings. She had a keen eye for detail. She could spot a scorpion in the dark, her sharp eyes catching even the slightest movement in the sand. Mani was brave and strong, his spirit unyielding like the desert winds. He faced challenges head-on. He could outrun a desert fox, his legs moving swiftly over the shifting sands, his determination unwavering. They were the children of the desert, born and raised in this harsh yet beautiful land. The desert was their home. They were used to its harsh ways, enduring sandstorms and scorching heat with resilience and grace. One evening they sat with their parents, the setting sun casting long shadows over the dunes. The air was heavy with despair. Their parents' faces were etched with worry, their eyes reflecting the uncertainty of their future. What would become of them? Could Ramalpur be saved? Their father sighed deeply, the weight of their plight heavy on his shoulders.
Only a miracle can save us now, he murmured, his voice barely audible over the whispering winds of the desert.
The next day, a whisper went through the village. It was a whisper filled with both excitement and trepidation, a murmur that carried the weight of ancient secrets and newfound possibilities. It came from the elders, the keepers of the village's history and lore. They gathered in the central square, their voices low but urgent. They spoke of an old tale, a story passed down through generations. It was a tale that many had dismissed as mere legend, but now it seemed to hold a glimmer of truth. A tale of a hidden oasis, a place of life and abundance in the midst of the barren desert. This oasis was said to be a sanctuary, a refuge from the harshness of their world. It lay deep within the darkwood, a forest so dense and foreboding that few dared to enter. The darkwood was a place of shadows and secrets where the light of day barely penetrated. The darkwood was a dangerous place filled with unseen perils. It was said that those who ventured too far into its depths were never seen again. Thorny trees clawed at the sky, their branches twisted and gnarled. The forest seemed to be alive, watching and waiting. Poisonous snakes slithered beneath the leaves, their movements silent and deadly. The ground itself seemed to writhe with danger. Wild beasts lurked in the shadows, their eyes glowing with a predatory gleam. The forest was a place where only the brave or the foolish dared to tread. But the legend said that within this dangerous forest there was a magical spring. This spring was said to have waters that could heal and rejuvenate, a source of life in the heart of darkness. And beside the spring lay a treasure that could bring prosperity and hope to the village. It was a treasure that could save Ramalpur from its plight, a treasure that could save Ramalpur, a village on the brink of despair. The villagers listened with bated breath, their hearts filled with a mix of hope and fear.
Manny, did you hear that? A hidden oasis. Can you imagine what it would mean for us?
Yes, Arfa. It could change everything. We could bring water and life back to our village. We have to find it. We have to be the ones to bring this hope to our people. We have to save our village. We can't let this opportunity slip away.
Arfa and Mani listened, their young faces set with determination. They knew the journey would be perilous, but they were ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead. Their hearts pounded with hope and fear, a mix of emotions that fueled their resolve. They were driven by the desire to save their home and their people. They knew they had to find the hidden oasis. It was their only chance to bring life back to Ramalpur. They had to save their village. The future of Ramalpur depended on their courage and determination. Arfa and Mani told their parents about their plan. Their parents were worried. They knew the dangers that lay ahead in the Darkwood, a place where few dared to venture. The forest was known for its treacherous paths and mysterious creatures. But Arfa and Mani were determined. They believed that finding the oasis was the only way to save their village from the drought. But they knew their children were the only hope. The parents, though filled with anxiety, also felt a glimmer of hope. They had raised their children to be brave and resourceful. They trusted in their abilities and prayed for their safe return. They packed dates and water. The journey would be long and arduous, and they needed to be prepared. Every item they packed was carefully chosen to ensure their survival. They took their father's curved knife and their mother's shawl. These items were not just tools, they were symbols of their parents' love and protection. The knife would help them navigate the dense forest, and the shawl would keep them warm during the cold nights. The villagers gathered to say goodbye. The entire community came together to support Arfa and Mani. They offered words of encouragement and blessings for a safe journey. They placed their hopes on these two brave children. The fate of the village rested on their young shoulders, and everyone believed in their courage and determination.
We'll come back, I promise. Arthur's voice was steady, filled with resolve. She looked at Mani, who nodded in agreement. They had made a pact to return no matter what.
We will find the oasis and save Ramalpur. Mani's voice echoed with determination. They knew the journey would be tough, but their mission was clear.
Arfa and Mani entered the Darkwood. The sunlight disappeared. The forest was dense and foreboding, with twisted trees that blocked out the light. It felt like stepping into another world. The air was thick and still. Every step they took was filled with caution. The silence was almost deafening, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. Thorns tore at their clothes. The path was not easy, and the forest seemed to resist their every move, but they pressed on, undeterred by the obstacles. They had to be careful. Each step was deliberate as they navigated the treacherous terrain. They knew one wrong move could spell disaster. They had to be brave. Their journey had just begun, and the challenges ahead were unknown. But with courage in their...
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow and Arfa videos Urdu and English.